Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo Show, where we take the gaming news format that channels like Spawnwave or Arlo do, add a dash of animation and some cool editing on top to bring you your gaming news, leaks, and rumors in a fresh new way. If you're new here and want to be kept up on everything gaming, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy the video and dislike if not. In this video, we are going to talk about how The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 not being at the February Nintendo Direct proves that me and other Nintendo Switch fans have been saying all along about when we will see Breath of the Wild 2 again and its release date. We will also talk about what could happen if we're wrong, which I hope I'm not, but I'm not psychic. So the February Nintendo Direct has passed and showed some amazing games, especially if you like Wii Sports or you're an RPG fan like me. You had a lot to love there, but I think one game that was missing was Breath of the Wild 2, and for a very good reason, and something that I didn't even expect to be there in the first place. I think Breath of the Wild 2 not being there was perfectly fine because Nintendo set up expectations in the tweet saying that they're covering the first half of 2022. I didn't expect Breath of the Wild 2 to be there, so the fact that it wasn't didn't really disappoint me. In fact, my theory had been for quite some time that Nintendo would release it for holiday season of 2022, use their E3 Nintendo Direct to showcase a huge blowout for the game and show us the story, gameplay, what's going on with Link's hand, and what Zelda's role is in the game, and so on. Now, Breath of the Wild 2 not being at the Nintendo Direct further proves this, unless Nintendo is not going to showcase the game at E3 and just release the game with no coverage whatsoever. The only spot to show it is E3 Nintendo Direct, or the E3 Nintendo Direct. And at that point, I highly doubt Nintendo is going to show all of this gameplay and say that it's going to be available in 2 weeks or even 2 months. No, this game is definitely probably going to be a huge holiday title for Nintendo. If anything, I can see Splatoon 3 released in a couple months before Breath of the Wild 2, which makes more sense, and here's why. Nintendo has a momentum that they like to keep. They release games over and over again and then adds momentum each time they release one. So right now we just had Pokemon Legends Arceus. That's a pretty good thing for the momentum of Nintendo. And of course before that we had Metroid Dread. Recently it's been dying down a bit. You're noticing that people are not talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus anymore. So what do we have after that? We have Square Enix's Project Triangle. Then we have a big one with Kirby and the Forgotten Land, another huge bump in the momentum for Nintendo. In April we have Advance Wars, another bump as well. Now after that we don't know about any other release dates for the Nintendo Switch games. How much do you guys want to bet that Fire Emblems or Splatoon 3 or even Bayonneta 3 are going to be in those months? Mix in a bit of third-party games and indie games and you have a healthy lineup up until E3 where more games will be shown with release dates and new trailers. Breath of the Wild will get a release date and Xenoblade 3 more than likely, which will release between E3 and December. No doubt the E3 Nintendo Direct will set up things for 2023 as well. And the next February Nintendo Direct will get the first half of 2023 just like we did with 2022. This timeline ensures that Nintendo is always having something new to look forward to, big or small. That'll lead up to E3 and then we can get the Breath of the Wild trailer and all the gameplay that we want. I don't see them doing another Nintendo Direct and showing Breath of the Wild 2 and then showing more at E3. But let's say I'm wrong and Nintendo doesn't show it at E3, they come on screen and say it's taking longer than we thought. What then? What would Nintendo be planning? Well, I think at that point you would have to start talking about fill-ins. At this point I think Nintendo would start looking to the Zelda remasters to fill in their spots to hold over fans. What adds to this is with the recent Nintendo eShop stuff with the Wii U and 3DS. Yes, the eShop closing does make a lot of sense business-wise and it was eventually going to happen. It wasn't going to stay open forever. As someone who wanted to buy games and buy the Wii U and buy the 3DS when I had enough money, it really does suck, but I guess I'm going to have to pay more money when I want to do that. But aside from the business reasons and the cost of keeping up the servers and all of that, I wonder if Nintendo is doing something with any of the remasters for the games that are on those shops. And if we do get a delay for Breath of the Wild 2, I could see them using the Zelda ports as a way to hold fans over for a couple more months. I think at this point, even if it does get a delay, it's not going to be a long delay. It's going to be a couple months, maybe 1 or 2 at the most. I don't think they're going to delay until like the second half of 2023. That'd be crazy. Now, for those who don't want these ports, keep in mind that the eShop is closed now, so that's one more option cut off. We do need another option to replace that, and not only that, but the prices for these games are going to skyrocket now that we don't have this option for the Wii Shop to download digitally. So this just adds another reason why it should be ported to the Switch, or you can do the other way with emulation, but at that point to do it legally, you would need the disc itself first. And to do that, you would have to buy the disc, which most likely is going to go up in price. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we are going to get a release date for Breath of the Wild 2 at E3 2022 for holiday season. But overall, that's what I think Breath of the Wild 2 skipping the Nintendo Direct means for the release date of Breath of the Wild 2. For now, I'll leave you guys with a question. When do you think Breath of the Wild 2 will be revealed with a long gameplay segment and a release date? And if they don't, do you think they will use the Zelda ports as a way to hold over fans? Or do you think they won't come and we'll just have to wait? Make sure you guys tell me in the comment section below. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.